Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody pray for us to start. Maybe who are you willing to pray for us?
Sure. Hvala ti Bože, da možemo okupiti ovo tvoje ime i možemo učiti tebi i da nam, znači, da ne mislimo nurni koji će riječi i da možemo Bože naučiti u tvoje ime. Amen.
Amen. Okay, speaking of seven, what are some of the sevens in the Gospel of John?
U Ivanovom evanđelju.
Chapter 7.
Yeah, chapter 7.
The quantity of bread and fish.
Bread and fish.
The
Wait.
7 days.
5 bread, 2 fish equals 7.
Oh, but I did not think of that one. What are some things that are repeated?
Neke stvari koje se ponavljaju 7 puta. Naprimjer, ja sam.
Uh,
And the I am something.
yeah, so there's just I am, like before.
Imamo ono ja jesam, prije nego što se Abraham rodio.
And there's 7 of those.
Ima 7 tih.
And then there's I am the bread of life.
I onda
What else do we have 7 of? Do you remember?
čega još imamo 7.
No.
What?
Miracles?
Yeah, they're and called the signs. John likes to use the word sign.
7 znakova.
I haven't talked about that. We're going to talk about as an introduction for tonight.
Ima jedan o kojem nismo pričali i danas ćemo pričati o tome u uvodu.
Anybody have a guess?
Hoće neko pogađati?
Peace.
Bravo. Yes.
Here.
Oh, you have it written down. Yeah. 7 feasts.
Aha. 7 gozbi.
So let's
More, dude. Just
He was
Now
really
this
lucky.
is a good
In 3 years.
There
Yeah.
actually were a lot more than 7.
Bilo je puno više od tih 7.
Apparent that John is intentionally choosing to limit it to 7. So that's an intentional choice.
I znači možemo vidjeti da Ivan namjerno bira samo tih 7.
I'll go through the 7. The first one's interesting because it's not really a feast.
Prvo je zanimljivo zato što u stvari nije gozba.
So we kind of have to cheat to get the number 7.
Tako da moramo malo varati da bi dobili broj 7.
But I think it really works
Ali ja mislim da može proći.
because this is the wedding feast.
To je svadbena gozba.
And it's really that's really how the gospel. There's an introduction in chapter 1, and then we begin. It's the first sign. It's the beginning of the gospel.
U prvom poglavlju to je taj prvi znak, početak evanđelja.
And when we were there, we talked about how it has a lot of symbolism. It symbolizes both the crucifixion.
I u tome ima puno simbolizma i simbolike i predstavlja raspeće.
And also the wedding feast of the Lamb, which is heaven.
I janjetova gozba koja je nebeska gozba.
So this is a particular new covenant. It's a new covenant example that John gives first.
To je primjer novog
Passover.
I onda imamo 3 pashe.
And so this also, when people say they think Jesus' ministry was 3 years long, this is why we think that, because you have to have enough years to go through the Passovers.
I kada ljudi kažu da je Isus imao 3 godine službe, zaključuju po tome što su bile te 3 pashe.
His ministry probably spanned 4. John mentions 3 of them.
Njegovo to poslanje najvjerojatnije trajalo 4 godine, ali Ivan spominje 3.
Yeah, let's see. And then so in between the Passover we have one in chapter 5 that's not named. John just says
U 5. poglavlju imamo neku neimenovanu gozbu.
And maybe there was no symbolism he wanted to tie to it, so he doesn't he doesn't mention which one it is.
Možda nema tu simbolike, ali samo je ovako htio napomenuti.
And then there's the one we're going to look at today, which is the Feast of Booths.
I danas ćemo spominjati ovu gozbu blagdan sjenica.
Yeah. And then in chapter 10 there's going to be the Feast of Dedication.
I u 10. poglavlju imamo gozbu posvećenja.
And that gives us 7, but there's actually 3 more.
I to nam daje tih 7 gozbi, ali u stvari ima ih još 3.
In the Jewish mind.
U židovskom pogledu.
Because there are 3 Sabbaths, and for the Jewish, the Sabbath day is a feast day.
Jer postoje 3 subote, a subota je dan gozbe.
And of course there were a few hundreds of these in Jesus' ministry.
There were a few hundreds of...
Yeah, there were thousands.
Yeah, a few in his ministry, because they're 50 a year, so there are a few hundred Sabbaths.
Aha, znači nekoliko stotina subota postoji u toj Isusovoj službi.
So that John only mentions 3 it's also intentional.
Ivan spominje samo 3, to je isto namjerno.
And it keeps us with really nice numbers, because we have 7 plus 3 is 10. 7, 3, and 10 are all very kind of biblical.
I tu imamo lijepe brojeve, imamo te 3 subote, 7 gozbi, 10, tako.
Yeah. And so John's using the feast for 2 reasons.
Ivan koristi gozbu iz par razloga.
One is just time.
Jedno je vrijeme.
This is how the time flows in his story. He keeps it moving by telling us that we're at different points of the year when every time he mentions a feast,
Prolazak vremena, svaki put kad spomene neku gozbu, kaže nam u koje doba se ta gozba dogodila.
So we know this is not a time.
To nije mit, to je znači prava priča, pravi ljudi, pravo vrijeme.
John also uses
Ivan također koristi simboliku.
And the biggest symbol that John is communicating through the feast, there's one big point.
Najveći simbol u toj gozbi je
but John is writing after the destruction of the temple.
Ivan piše nakon.
Nobody can celebrate any of these feasts at the time that John is writing his gospel.
Tako da nitko ne može imati te gozbe ili slaviti dok on to piše.
When the Roman fist kind of finally came down on Israel,
i napokon skršili Izraelce,
hundreds of thousands of Jews were executed,
stotine tisuća Židova su poubijani,
and hundreds of thousands were sent into slavery.
I stotine tisuća su poslani u ropstvo.
The temple was completely destroyed.
A hram je bio
destroyed again.
Jeruzalem je opet bio ponovo skroz uništen.
And so in John's day, the Jews they're mostly living outside of Israel.
Izvan Izraela.
And it's a period of disorientation. You don't know how to do Judaism anymore.
I to je taj jedan period što raditi, kako se ponašati.
There were, 3 major days in the year, feast days,
ta najvažnija dana, blagdana, svi su trebali doći u Jeruzalem.
And you celebrate it with sacrifice in the temple.
I to proslavljate sa žrtvom u hramu.
And you're not allowed to sacrifice anywhere else.
I ne smijete nigdje drugdje imati žrtvu.
And so there's this great sense of loss and despair, dismay.
I postoji taj jedan ogroman osjećaj očaja i gubitka.
And so John is writing.
Piše kako bi rekao da je sve u redu.
It's okay that we can't celebrate the Passover.
Sve u redu, ne moramo slaviti Pasu.
Or booths.
Ili posvećenje i blagdan sjenica.
Because Jesus fulfilled all of it. So this is partly he's being evangelistic. He's giving them a different option. You've lost everything, but it's okay because we're moving on.
Znači, govorim da sve ste izgubili, ali nema veze jer sad je vrijeme za Isusa.
So there are three main feasts, and everybody's supposed to come to Jerusalem.
Koje su tri te glavne gozbe koje traju tjedan dana i kad bi svi trebali doći u Jeruzalem?
Anybody know what those are? What are the three main big ones?
Passover.
Good.
Blagdan sjednica.
Good. Yeah. All right, the one we're doing now, and the one more.
Resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Maybe
No,
Jewish.
Посвящение.
Jewish. Uh-huh.
A blagdan посвящение.
No.
Trumpets.
No. Yeah, good. Guess. It's not up here,
Da.
Nije.
and you might. It's interesting.
Is it the one they celebrate because of Esther?
Purim.
Purim.
No. Yeah, but
no,
good.
that's not long.
Yeah, we'll give a. Yeah. It's one that we celebrate in the Christian calendar. It's Pentecost,
Aha. Pentekost.
which is the Feast of Weeks. Yeah, so that's here they are. And so now I'm going to show you how to remember when they happened during the Jewish year. It's easier than you would think.
Sada ću vam pokazati kako ih zapamtiti u toj židovskoj godini kad su se dogodili.
So the numbers up on the right side of the 15:1, that's the date. So it's the 15th day, first month.
S desne strane je 15. dan prvog mjeseca, 15.
So everything happens in sevens in the Jewish calendar.
Sve se događa u tim sedmicama u židovskom kalendaru.
And if you want to read about this, it's in Leviticus 23.
Ako želite čitati o tome, to je u Levitskom zakoniku 23.
And the chapter, it starts talking about Sabbath.
Počinje govoriti o šabatu.
And so that's a seven rhythm. So every 7 days you have a feast.
To je taj sedmi ritam i svakih 7 dana imaju gozbu.
And then we start off the year. So in the first month, in the middle of the month, on the 15th, we have our first great feast.
I onda započinjemo godinu i u sredinom prvog mjeseca imamo tu veliku gozbu.
And then the Feast of Weeks is called Pentecost. Do you know why it's called Pentecost?
I taj blagdan weeks, how do you...
That's not in here.
Blagdan-
Sedmica.
Aha, blagdan sedmica se zove Pentekost.
Pentecost,
jel?
yeah.
Da.
This is because it is like 7 times 7, like 7 weeks.
Oh, super, yeah. Yeah, so after the last day of the feast of the Passover is a Sabbath.
Znači, za zadnji tjedan Pashe je subota.
And so after that, they're supposed to count 7 times 7, so 7 Sabbaths, 7 weeks.
I poslije toga trebaju brojati 7 puta 7 tjedana.
And after they count those sevens, the next day is Pentecost.
I kada izbroje to 7 puta 7, onda sljedeći dan je Pentekost.
Pente is 50 in Greek, that's why it's 50 days, it's later.
Pente je 50 na grčkom.
So again, it's
50 dana kasnije.
so first month and then 7 times 7.
Znači prvi dan i onda 7 puta 7. U stvari prvi mjesec pa onda 7 puta 7.
Yeah. Oh, and up here, just on the side there, so Passover takes place in our our third and fourth month. So March, April. That's what those numbers are to the side. So their first month is right in. It overlaps our third and fourth month.
Znači njihov prvi mjesec je između našeg trećeg i četvrtog.
So then their sedmica is going to happen sometime in the 6th month.
A taj blagdan sedmica je negdje u 6. mjesecu.
And then the Feast of Booths happens in their 7th month.
I blagdan sjednica je u njihovom 7. mjesecu.
We're keeping together with the idea of 7,
I opet je tu taj koncept 7,
which also puts it at the middle of the year. It's 6 months later. You celebrate in the first month, and then you have 6 months, and then you celebrate again.
i što je sredinom godine imate tih prvih 6 mjeseci, onda to, pa onda dalje.
It's probably more information than you want. And then the seventh month is really holy. It's really important.
I 7. mjesec je jako svet i jako važan.
Because the Feast of Trumpets happens on the first day of the 7th month.
Jer prvog dana 7. mjeseca je ta gozba truba.
And then the Day of Atonement happens on the 10th day of the 7th month.
A dan pomirenja 10. dana u 7. mjesecu.
And the blue ones, they're all week-long feasts. So that they start on the 15th, but then they last for 7 days or 8 days.
I ovi plavi kvadratići traju tjedan dana.
And the last one I'll mention is that Feast of Dedication.
I gozba posvećenja na kraju.
And it's orange because it's not in the Old Testament.
Naranđasta je zato što nije u Starom Zavjetu.
This is from the time of Maccabees.
To je za vrijeme Makebejaca.
Yeah. And so it was and this is what Jews called Hanukkah.
I to Židovi zovu Hanuka.
That's the I don't know how to spell that in Croatian, but that's the Hebrew, the Jewish way to say that, Hanukkah. And that happens I didn't write what month it is for them. It's our 12th month.
To je u našem 12. mjesecu.
Do their days shift one day per year or not?
Da li se njihovi dani mijenjaju za jedan dan svake godine?
They don't, because their calendar is driven by the moon. So it's,
okay, so yeah, it wouldn't make sense then for me the first of the 7 because it was shifts, so it wouldn't be a Shabbat anymore.
Yeah. They have every few years, they have a 13th month in the year to make an adjustment. They have an entire extra month.
Znači, židovski kalendar se ravnao po mjesecu i svakih par godina bi imali 13. mjesec da se opet poravna sve kak bi trebalo biti.
And so none of their months are 31 days, they're all 29, 30 days.
Nijedan njihov mjesec nema 31 dan, nego svi su po 29.
They lose several days every year, and then they need a whole month to make it up.
Gube par dana svake godine i onda na kraju jedan mjesec imaju ekstra, nakon par godina.
Okay, so this is just to give you context for what John's doing with the feasts.
I ovo je samo za kontekst da vidimo što to Ivan čini sa tim gozbama.
And he brings the symbol, in the last chapter, chapter 6, he brought a lot of things together.
Dosta toga, kako kažem, zamotao.
Because there we had 2 signs.
Imamo 2 znaka.
Feeding 5,000, walking on water.
Hranjenje 5,000 i hodanje po vodi.
And we had an I am statement.
I imamo taj ja jesam kruh života, to jest ja sam kruh života.
And we had a feast, it was Passover.
I imali smo gozbu, a to je Pasha.
And if you understand the feast, you don't need to understand the feast to understand the Gospel of John.
I ne morate shvatiti tu gozbu da bi shvatili Ivanovo evanđelje. Ali puno pomaže i pridodaje shvaćanju.
And we're going to see that a little tonight. We'll see some symbolism from the Feast of Weeks in chapter 7 and chapter 8.
I u 7. i 8. poglavlju ćemo vidjeti taj gozbu sedmice, ali je?
Sjenica.
Ne, it was Feast of Weeks.
I said it wrong. Very good. Yeah, Feast of Booths.
Aha.
Bravo.
Znači, blagna sjednica, da.
Yeah. Good.
To jest gozba.
In this chapter 7,
U 7. poglavlju
there are 2 major sections. One, Jesus is having an argument with his brothers.
imamo 2 veća odjeljka. U jednom se Isus svađa sa braćom.
But then the bigger section is going to be Jesus teaching in the temple.
Kako Isus poučava u hramu.
And I always have you focus in on the text of Scripture. We're going to do that when we get to the teaching in the temple.
I to ćemo poslije vidjeti kad ćemo doći do tog učenja u hramu.
So we'll read this one kind of all together and then just and consider it immediately. But this is Jesus.
Vidjeti kaj se tu dešava, ali to su znači Isus i njegova braća.
So Melchior, would you read that for us? This is chapter 7, verse 1 through 13. Maybe just read it from here
Okay,
so that people see it.
Nakon toga Isus je obilazio po Galileji, nije htio u Judeju jer su Židovi tražili da ga ubiju. Bijaše blizu židovski blagdan Sjenica, rekoše mu stoga njegova braća, otiđi odavde i pođi u Judeju, da i tvoji učenici vide djela što činiš. Tko želi biti javno poznat, ne čini ništa u tajnosti. Ako već činiš sve to, očituj se svijetu, jer ni braća njegova nisu vjerovala u njega, reče im na to Isus. Moje vrijeme još nije došlo, a za vas je vrijeme svagda pogodno. Vas svijet ne može mrziti, ali mene mrzi, jer ja svjedočim protiv njega, da su mu djela opaka. Vi samo uziđite na blagdan, ja još ne uzlazim na ovaj blagdan, jer moje se vrijeme još nije ispunilo. To im reče i ostade u Galileji. Ali pošto njegova braća uziđeše na blagdan, uziđe i on, ne javno nego potajno, a Židovi su ga tražili o blagdanu pitajući gdje je onaj. I među mnoštvom o njemu se mnogo šaptalo. Jedni govorahu dobar je, drugi pak ne, nego zavodi narod. Ipak nitko nije otvoreno govorio o njemu zbog straha od Židova.
Thank you. Anything jump out to you there? Anything stand out?
Da li vam je išta iskočilo?
I have a question.
Okay.
First it says that just a second. When Jesus said that he is not going yet to the feast, then he went. So was that contradictory or?
Yeah. Super. Good.
Isus je rekao da neće otići na tu gozbu, ali onda ipak kasnije otišao.
Yeah,
je li
so
to kontradiktorno?
Did Jesus lie? Yeah. That's a good one.
Je li Isus lagao?
Anything else? Did anybody else have any other? That's a big one to talk about.
He said yet. Ja još ne slazim. So maybe like he just wasn't going in with them.
Možda je to kao, rekao je
Where is the
ne idem
još?
još,
It's the second.
pa onda kao da će tek poslije doći na tu gozbu.
You know what?
Odite vi, neću ja još doći.
I'll have to look at that at the break. I'm pretty sure that's not in the Greek.
Okay.
I think somebody translated that very nicely so there would not be a problem. That is interesting. Yeah, because that's not in my English.
Mislim da iz grčkog originala nema tog još, ali treba pogledati.
This yosh is there.
Ovog još sigurno ima.
My time has not yet come.
10. stih je.
What about it?
Fora je kaže kad su braća uzišla na blagdan, onda je on ušao ali potajno. Nije kao da se skriva u smislu, osim što se skriva od Židova, pitanje je da li se i skriva od toga da ga ljudi vidi da ide na blagdan. Da li Isus ima nešto protiv blagdovanja Paske?
U Sjenici.
Sjenici, prosto, da.
Ja mi da nije. Nego su ga tražili mi tebi viđen. Ali ti ja poštovat zakona. Blagdana.
Yeah, the language of time is interesting.
What is one supposed to do at this feast?
At this feast?
Yeah, what is the
Requirement.
yeah.
Well, we'll get into that more
Okay.
later. I don't think that affects Jesus' decision to go or not go. But
I was thinking of hiding. Could he just, walk in the temple and get out, or does he sacrifice something and somebody has to see him in that way?
yeah, no, he's gonna, when he goes up to teach in the temple, he's gonna be very public.
Right.
It's interesting. He's very visible.
Well, it's not my idea, but you said it, like, when we were doing the wedding feast,
Uh-huh.
and Mary asked Jesus to do something,
Uh-huh.
and he said, like, my time is not yet. Tell me what to do, but then he actually did it. In the same way, like here, he's telling his brothers he won't go, but then he goes, and you said it was because he made the decision, not them, but that's still like reading into the text. I don't know.
Yeah, there's you always have to read into a text to some degree.
Uvijek trebate razmišljati na neki način o tekstu, donekle, probati shvatiti.
So, but let's start with what the brothers said.
Ali počnemo od toga što je rekao brat.
Because if we didn't read the part where Jesus rebukes them,
Ako pročitamo samo dio prije nego što ih je Isus opovrgnuo, mislimo si, pa to nije loš savjet.
So what just happened in the end of chapter 6 was we have this mass desertion, like all the Galilean disciples left Jesus.
Bilo to, znači, svi ti učenici Isusovi su napustili ovog Isusa.
We're told, John goes ahead and tells us they didn't believe in him yet.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. The brothers don't believe in Jesus.
Znači, reći
But we've come to see in John that there's a big continuum of not believing in Jesus. So in the Gospel of John, we see that people are at very different stages of not believing.
Da, znači u Ivanovom evanđelju vidimo da su nevjerovanja Isusu ili u Isusa.
There are people who don't believe and they just don't care. I don't believe, I don't care. And hate him and want to kill him.
Ljudi koji ne vjeruju i mrze ga i žele ubiti.
But there are also people who don't believe and call themselves disciples.
I imaju i oni ljudi koji mu ne vjeruju, a nazivaju se učenicima.
And that's been the tricky one. There are people who claim to believe, but they don't really believe.
I to je malo zeznuto, jer kažu mi vjerujemo, ali ne vjeruju u stvari.
So they want Jesus to be who they want him to be.
Žele da Isus bude ono što oni žele da on bude. Jasno di su tu ta braća.
They know he can do miracles because they've seen it.
Znaju da može činiti čuda jer su ga vidjeli.
And they're giving him strategic advice how to build a movement.
I daju mu neke strateške savjete kako započeti taj pokret.
This is we could call it political advice.
Politički savjet.
So he's
Izgubio je sve te ljude u Galileji.
The brothers might be saying, it's bad.
Braća mu govore, znaš, nije to baš dobro.
But who needs people from Galilee anyway?
Ali ko šiša ove u Galileji?
Vote for Jesus everywhere.
If you want to be some
Ako želite biti netko i nešto u Izraelu, gdje vam treba ta najveća moć? U Jeruzalemu.
Exactly. If you're going to win the vote of the people, you've got to do it. You can't win.
Ako želite osvojiti glasove ljudi, ne možete pobijediti u Galileji, trebaju vam ljudi iz Jeruzalema.
So when should you go?
I gdje bi onda trebali ići?
Well, why not go to the country?
Zašto ne otići tamo kad su svi iz cijele zemlje u Jeruzalemu?
So you've got 3
Događa 3 puta godišnje.
One of them's right now.
Jedno je upravo sada.
You've lost a lot of people.
Izgubio si puno ljudi.
You need to get more people.
Treba ti još.
You can do miracles.
Možeš činiti čuda.
So go
Na taj blagdan sjenica.
declare yourself publicly.
Kažeš ja sam Isus.
And solidify your base. Make sure the people who are already believing you that nobody else leaves. and add more people.
I dodaju još ljudi.
So it's, they could, this would work for a political party today. This is good strategy.
Za neku političku stranku danas.
But what we saw from Jesus at the end of the chapter 6 is that Jesus has different values that are influencing his.
Isus ima neke druge vrijednosti koje utječu na njegove odluke i njegovu strategiju.
Jesus apparently is not driven by numbers. He doesn't want just lots of people.
Očito je da Isus nije pokrenut brojevima, to jest sa puno ljudi.
If people don't truly believe in him, he's pushing them away.
Ako oni uistinu ne vjeruju u njega,
There are lots of Israelites willing to believe in a Messiah.
Jer jako puno Izraelaca želi vjerovati u tog Mesiju.
And so they could comfortably become part of his group.
I vrlo jednostavno mogu postati dio njegove grupe.
And never experience new birth, never experience forgiveness and Savior.
I nikad ne doživiti novo rođenje i nikad ne doživiti Isusa kao njihovog spasitelja.
So for Jesus, it's much. He needs to push them away for their own.
Ih treba odgurnuti od sebe za njihovo dobro, znači otresti se od njih.
So that they might turn and truly believe in him as he is.
Vratiti i povjerovati u njega kakav on uistinu je.
Interpret what he's saying to his brothers.
I dio kada priča o vremenu možemo interpretirati što u stvari želi reći svojoj braći.
I'm glad you brought up.
Super je što smo spomenuli tu gozbu na vjenčanju, jer je rekao mami, nije moj sat, moj čas.
Yeah, and that seems in John, the word.
I taj čas na neki način je povezan sa križem.
So Jesus, our.
Isusov taj čas je, ili sat, će u stvari biti njegovo proslavljenje na križu.
Time is related, but it's broader.
Vrijeme je povezano, ali je...
I am going to make decisions based on the will of the Father.
Isus kaže, ja ću činiti odluke utemeljene na Otcu.
So I will going up or not going up, it has everything to do with what I believe God is telling me to do.
Ima veze to jest bazira se na tome što mu Otac govori.
I'm not basing my life on human goals of more people.
Ljudskim idejama i ciljevima.
Or what you think is good strategy.
Ili što ljudi misle da je dobra strategija.
I'm not scared of being public.
Nije me strah da budem u javnosti.
Not scared of conflict.
Nije me strah konflikta.
Not scared of death.
Nije me strah smrti.
But I'm not going to push it with bad strategy.
To izazivati sa lošom strategijom.
I'm going to go die when God says it's time to go die.
Umrijeću kada Otac kaže da je vrijeme za to.
And he tells the brothers, your time is whenever.
I kaže, braći, vaše vrijeme je kad god.
Because your values of the world.
Zato što planirate svoj život temeljen na tim i svjetovnim strategijama.
And the world's not going to hate you.
I svijet vas neće mrziti.
It gets you. People get your strategy because it's in line with the way everybody thinks.
Ljudi shvaćaju tu strategiju od njegove braće. ali će svijet mene mrziti.
because I don't care about the values of the world.
Zato što mene nije briga za te svjetovne vrijednosti. Da.
In fact, I'm going to which
Ja
is
ću,
very often evil.
ja ću otkriti te vrijednosti, staviti ih na sunce i prozvati onime što jesu, a one su zle.
So I think it's quite valid to read a condition into Jesus' words.
Iako je
The conditional with Jesus' words. If,
ima uvjet u Isusovim riječima,
even if the yosh is not there,
iako ju
In the
još
Greek?
nije tamo u grčkom,
you could read into it. Jesus is telling his brothers, I am not going to go up to this feast until God tells me to go up to this feast.
i možete to shvatiti kao nije moje vrijeme da idem na tu gozbu dok mi otac nije rekao da odem na tu gozbu.
I'm going to wait here until God says go up.
Čekat ću ovdje dok mi Bog ne kaže odi gore.
Or it could be, I am not going to go up to this feast in a public manner like you want me to.
Ili ja neću otići na tu gozbu na taj javan način kao što vi želite da odem.
I'm going to do that, but it's going to be a year and a half from now.
To ću napraviti, ali to će biti za godinu i pol od sada.
And I'm going to ride in on a donkey.
I ušetat ću na magarcu.
And it's going to be really public.
I bit će javno.
And people are going to start shouting really dangerous things.
I ljudi će se derat opasne stvari.
Like save us, son of David.
Poput spasi nas, sine Davidov.
And if you want the Romans and the Jewish leaders to hate you, then declare yourself son of David.
I ako želite da vas Rimljani i Židovi mrze, proglasite se sinom
Because you're
Davidovim.
declaring yourself a king. Yeah, it's a quick way to get killed. Declare yourself Messiah, and now you've got Rome and the Jewish leadership against you.
Znači, ako sebe proglasite kraljem, neće vas voljeti ni Židovi, ni Rimljani.
Which is probably why Jesus never publicly calls himself the Christ.
I to je najvjerojatnije zašto Isus sebe javno ne naziva Krist.
Because he's managing the time.
Jer upravlja tim vremenom.
So he's not avoiding the conflict, he's managing the conflict.
Znači, ne ustručava se konflikta, nego upravlja sa konfliktom.
And he's going to do something dangerous at this feast. He's going to go into the temple and he's going to teach publicly, and there are people there who want to kill him.
I napravit će nešto opasno na toj gozbi, ući će u hram i javno će propovijedati, a tamo će biti ljudi koji ga žele ubiti.
But by not making the entrance public with his brothers, he's reducing the tension just enough, I think, to put off the leaders.
Znači, samim time što ne ulazi u hram sa svojom braćom, smanjuje tu napetost dovoljno da ga ovi ne ubiju.
And we can't really know that. Of course, I'm just guessing because we can't know what would have happened. We only know what Jesus did.
Ali ovo samo nagađamo, ne znamo što bi se dogodilo, samo znamo što se dogodilo.
But I think that's what he's saying. I'm not going public the way you want me to, because now's not the time for that.
Ali mislim da to govori i kaže ne želim se sad javno objavljivati, ali nije još vrijeme za to.
So then he does go up, and this is going to be the pattern of the rest of the chapter.
I onda uzilazi u Jeruzalem i to će biti kako se zove
Pattern, structure.
Što si rekao?
Obrazac.
Da. Što je ono bilo drugo? Pattern.
Structure.
But after that.
This is the structure of the chapter.
Aha, znači to je taj obrazac drugog ovog poglavlja.
So Jesus is going to teach.
Isus će učiti.
People are going to debate.
Ljudi će debatirati.
Leaders are going to respond.
Glavari će reagirati.
Then Jesus is going to teach.
Onda će Isus opet učiti.
People are going to debate.
I onda će ljudi opet
And the leaders
debatirati.
are going to respond.
I onda će ti glavari opet nešto napraviti.
And the first teaching is going to have to do with Moses and the Word.
Prvo učenje ima veze sa Mojsijem i riječju.
And the second teaching is going to have to do with the Holy Spirit. So we're talking about the Word and the Spirit.
A drugo učenje će biti o Duhu Svetom, znači imamo riječ i duha.
And we'll see in a minute how that's the Word and the Spirit are tightly tied to this feast.
I vidjet ćemo da su riječ i duh usko povezani s tom gozbom.
So we're going to read the teaching, and then I'm going to have you do some observation of the debate and the response.
Sad ćemo pročitati to učenje, pa ćemo pogledati taj uzorak tog prepiranja i odgovora.
And when I say we're going to read it, I really mean Melchior is going to read it.
I to ću ja morat pročitati. Okay.
So this is Jesus teaching in the temple.
I ovo je znači što Isus uči ljude u hramu. Usred blagdana uziđe Isus u hram i stade naučavati. Židovi se u čudu pitahu: kako ovaj znade pisma, a nije učio? Na to im Isus odvrati: moj nauk nije moj, nego onoga koji me poslao. Ako tko hoće vršiti volju njegovu, prepoznaće da li je taj nauk od Boga ili ja sam od sebe govorim. Tko sam od sebe govori, svoju slavu traži, a tko traži slavu onoga koji ga posla, taj je istinit i nema u njemu pravednosti. Nepravednosti. Nije li vam Mojsije dao zakon, pa ipak nitko od vas ne vrši zakona, zakon tražite da me ubijete. Odgovori mnoštvo: zloduha imaš, tko traži da te ubije. Uzvrati im Isus jedno djelo učenih i svi se čudite. Mojsije vam dade obrezanje, ne ono i nije od Mojsija, nego od otaca. I vi u subotu obrezujete čovjeka. Ako čovjek može primiti obrezanje u subotu, da se ne prekrši Mojsijev zakon, zašto se ljutite na mene što sam svega čovjeka ozdravio u subotu? Okay.
Yeah, do anybody remember what he's talking about there at the very end?
Jel se iko sjeća o čem priča ovdje na kraju?
Healing the sick man, like on Sabbath.
Yeah. He healed the lame man in chapter 5.
Ozdravio je u 5. poglavlju tog hromog čovjeka.
And it was on a Saturday, on a Sabbath.
I to je bilo u subotu.
And Jesus did it on purpose.
I Isus je to namjerno napravio.
Because he was poking the religious people.
Želio je malo isprovocirati te religiozne
See how they're going to respond.
Da vidi kako će reagirati.
And here it says Jesus is teaching, but it doesn't really tell us what he was teaching.
I Isus poučava, ali ne govori nam što poučava.
So this is more, he was teaching something.
Nešto poučava.
In the temple, and so you can think like Sermon on the Mount kind of teaching maybe.
U hramu i možete razmišljati na to kao propovjed na gori.
And they're astonished because whatever he's teaching, we don't know what, it sounds really smart.
I zaprepašteni su jer nemaju pojma o čemu on priča, ali zvuči jako pametno.
But the people, they've got, there's a certain elitism. If you're not trained as a priest in the temple, how in the world can you know stuff? This is surprising.
I postoji taj neki elitizam, ne znam kako bi rekao, znači oni su veći bolji, ako nisi ti učen u hramu, onda ti u stvari to ne bi trebao znati što piše u
Jesus has a moment where he could boast if he wanted to.
I Isus ima taj trenutak gdje se može hvalisati ako želi.
We're not surprised he doesn't.
Ne čudi nas što to radi.
He says where the teaching comes from. He says the source of the teaching.
I govori odakle dolazi to učenje njegovo.
He says this is not my teaching.
Kaže to nije moje učenje.
It's from the reason it sounds so smart is because this is from the Father.
Razlog zašto to zvuči tako pametno je zato što je od Oca.
And basically he's going to tell them, but you don't get it because you really don't believe Moses anyway.
Ali reći im, vi u stvari to ne kužite zato što vi ne vjerujete Mojsiju i ovako i onako.
So we see Jesus doesn't mind being public and he doesn't mind conflict.
I vidimo da Isus nema problema s time da bude u javnosti, da javno govori i nema problema sa konfliktima.
And these people are all here to celebrate the feast that Moses told them to celebrate.
A svi su ti ljudi ovdje zato što slave Gozbu koju im je Mojsije rekao da
So
slave.
every day they're obeying the law of Moses. That's what they're doing. That's why they're here.
I svakim danom poštuju taj Mojsijev zakon i zato su tu.
And Jesus has the audacity
I Isus ima usuđuje se, da.
Yeah, you could go with the courage, but it's kind of to tell them that they don't know Moses at all.
Da uopće ne poznaju Mojsija, da im kaže da ne poznaju, da ne znaju šta Mojsije želi s time.
And it for the leaders, it's going to have to do with this problem of the man on the Sabbath. It's the healing of the man on the Sabbath. You're so upset about that, it shows you don't get Moses.
I za vođe to pokazuje tako da toliko ih nije briga što je on iscijelio tog čovjeka u subotu, da u stvari ne kuže, da ne... A?
Nije ih briga što Isus stoji, to im smeta zato što nisu shvatili.
Aha, da, to.
And that's why you're trying to kill me.
I zato me pokušavate ubiti.
And they're like, you have a demon.
A oni njemu govore, ti si demon.
So the level of the debate just dropped real quick. It's like, you guys don't understand Moses. Yeah, well, you're satanic. That's
I ta neka razina ljudska se srozala. Čim je on njima rekao, vi ne kužite šta Mojsije želi reći, oni su rekli, buras pa ti si demon.
And who's trying to kill you anyway?
I tko vas uopće pokušava ubiti?
But they know. I mean, they were all. It just told us a few details of how the leaders might respond.
A oni su u strahu uopće pričati o Isusu, jer se boje kako će te starješine reagirati.
Those seven, right? The Jews, top Jewish families, right?
What?
Those are the top Jewish families that the
70?
yeah, the 70.
Yeah, it's probably even broader, but yeah, that's the main, the ruling. There's decision up there that they already want to put Jesus to death.
Ima ta neka veća kasta od 70 ljudi i onda oni su protiv Isusa.
Now you need something to write with. Now it's time for some observation of your own. So that's the teaching. Now there's going to be debate among the people.
I sada ovo je bilo učenje i sada ćemo pogledati tu debatu ili prepirku među ljudima.
So we're going to have 7 minutes observation, then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to take a break.
I sada ćemo 7 minuta pričati o tome, to jest pogledati pa ćemo pričati pa ćemo ići na pauzu.
What I want you to look at are verses 25 to 36.
25 do 36 redak.
And just what stands out to you, what do you notice in these verses is interesting or strange or important?
I probajte naći šta vam je zanimljivo ili šta smatrate važnim.
Prvo 25. Ko te želi ubiti? Zar nema koga žele ubiti?
Good, go. Okay. On your own, quietly. What's something, anybody, what's something you noticed? One thing you noticed from the text.
Before it said, who wants to kill you? And like, the first one is like, isn't it the guy who wants to kill him? They just told them, oh wait, yeah, they want to kill him. So
It's
they
like
contradicted
public
themselves.
knowledge.
What else?
I šta znači the Greeks, o raseljenim Grcima?
That's a good observation. What does that mean?
I don't know. What does that mean?
It's the dispersion among the Greeks are Jews living outside of. It's really they're living either towards the east in Persia or towards the west in Rome.
Raspršenost među Grcima znači da postoji ta skupina Židova koji su se poselili po Grčkoj i tamo po Rimu i svugdje.
But since Alexander, the whole region is kind of culturally Greek.
Ali od vremena Aleksandra regija je kulturološki grčka.
So whether they go east or west, it's all sort of Greek.
Išli oni istočno ili zapadno, sve je to više manje kao grčka neka.
And so that would be the first phrase, the Jews among the Greeks is the one that's a little confusing. This among the Greeks.
Znači imamo kani poći raseljenima među Grcima, to je znači ta raseljenost. Ali tko su onda ti i naučavati Grke, ko su onda ti Grci?
And that would probably be
Philosophers.
it could be philosophers, or it could just be Greeks who want to be Jews. So the Greeks attached to the synagogues out there.
Yeah, but imagine if you did, like, we a lot more respected like Christianity if it was like written by the Greeks, because it was about everything. So imagine if you did, and like they believed in a different world.
I onda ko su ti Grci? To bi u stvari bili Grci koji žele postati Židovi.
And it's exactly who Paul's going to go to.
Upravo su ti ljudi kojima će doći Pavao.
You know, synagogue.
Kada čitate djela apostolska, prvo di Pavao ide je sinagoga.
And that's this first group.
I to je ta prva skupina.
And some of them believe.
I neki od njih povjeruju.
But a lot who believe are this group.
Ali ti Grci koji nisu Židovi u stvari.
Yeah.
It could be like the God-fearing Greeks when it's...
Yeah. Proselytes, we would call it, yeah.
To su ti bogobojazni Grci.
Also, interestingly, is this might be who John is writing his gospel to. It's to the Jews who've been dispersed because of the destruction of Jerusalem.
I što zanimljivo je da Ivan u stvari piše svoje evanđelje tim
God-fearing pagans, God-fearing Greeks.
I tim bogobojasnim Grcima, poganima.
But here it just shows they're really confused about what Jesus is talking about.
Ali ovdje ovo sam pokazuje da su užasno zbunjeni o tome što Isus priča.
Something.
I'm confused with 31st. Kaže, mnogi iz mnoštva povjerovaše, te govora, zar će Krist kad dođe činiti više znamenja nego što tek ovaj čini. A koga su onda povjerovali ako kažu sljedeći dan će zar će Krist kad dođe?
A ne, to je kao, ako ovaj nije... Tako još trudno pokuviš, znači viruju u njega kao, viruju, ali ako ovaj nije, neko drugi će mora raditi 100 puta više nego ovo.
A ne, koga su povjerovali?
Pa nikoga.
Yeah, it's a rhetorical.
To je retoričko pitanje, tko bi mogao napraviti više djela od njega?
And the answer is nobody.
Nitko.
So shouldn't we believe? What more do we
Mesija.
expect?
Što još očekujemo od Mesije?
So that's a good clarification. What else?
Na primjer, Isus kaže, vi njega ne znate, like, you don't know him, but like, Yahweh, so how come they don't know him?
Which verse?
That is the 28th, the last sentence. Njega vi ne znate, so like, you don't know him. Shouldn't they worship Yahweh?
Zašto govori da oni njega ne znaju? Zar ne slave oni Jahvu, Boga? Zašto ga onda ne poznaju?
Oh, I thought you said you had something. No, okay.
Well, yeah, but no.
I know she does. She just doesn't.
Zašto kažu da kad dođe Krist niko neće znati odakle ima u proročanstvima da će se znati odakle dolazi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. And we've gotten this that the people, even in their debate, are a little confused and confusing. Because later in the debate, they're going to say, he can't be the Messiah because we know.
Govore za njega kasnije, on nema šanse da je on Mesija zato što Mesija treba doći iz Davidova grada.
Yeah. So we're supposed to notice that they don't really know what they're talking about.
I kada oni to kažu, mi bi trebali shvatiti, oni u stvari ne znaju o čem govore.
Because on the one hand, they're going to claim nobody.
I s jedne strane govore, nitko neće znati odakle Krist dolazi, tako da ti ne možeš biti Krist zato što mi znamo odakle si.
And then they're going to say, we know where the Christ is supposed to be.
Onda poslije će reći, mi znamo odakle bi trebao Krist doći, tako da nema šanse da si ti Krist.
And that's one more thing to notice here is how much this keeps getting used. It's all about what you do know and what you don't know.
Sve se svodi na to što znamo.
They're making claims to knowledge, and Jesus is going to tell them, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Oni će se pozivati na to svoje znanje, ali Isus će im reći, vi u stvari ne znate o čem pričate.
So they, yeah,
I have a question.
good.
I wanted to ask about this 27th verse when they will come.
Yeah.
Is it possible that these teachers and priests told them that and they believed them?
To be honest, a reference to why they should say that. I don't know why they're saying that.
Znači, pitanje je bilo, jesu li možda židovski svećenici rekli nitko ne zna odakle će Isus doći, pa su onda to oni njemu rekli zato što su ih ovi krivo naučili. Ali to ne možemo nigdje naći, tako da ne znam.
So that is possible. It's possible they have been taught in their tradition that we don't know where the Christ is from.
I moguće je da su ih naučili tako u tradiciji da u stvari ne bi trebali znati od kuda Krist dolazi.
And Jesus tells them, where is it in verse 28? He says, you know me and you know where I'm from.
I Isus
Is that in
kaže,
verse 28, right?
vi me znate i znate odakle sam. 28. poglavlje.
And that's, yeah, what? Verse 28?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then he's going to say, but I was sent from somebody, and I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go, does he say he's going back? What is it?
not back, but you're going to the one that sent him. So that's kind of back.
Yeah, I'm going somewhere you can't find me. Yeah,
I onda govori,
verse 34.
netko me poslao i idem tamo gdje me nećete moći naći.
Good, and Jakob pointed out 33 says, oh, great, Lena pointed out, yeah, I'm going to him who sent me. So there's a double problem. They're claiming to know Jesus,
Oni tvrde da znaju Isusa
and they know, and Jesus acknowledges, and you know something about me.
i Isus im to daje za pravo da znate nešto o meni.
You know I'm from Galilee.
Znate da sam iz Galileje,
You know I have a mother named Mary.
da mi se mama zove Marija.
You know where I'm from.
Znate odakle sam.
Now I'm going back to the one who sent me.
A sada se vraćam onome koji me poslao.
Now Jesus is talking about this other truth that they have no clue about.
I sada on govori o toj istini o kojoj oni nemaju pojma.
Because their knowledge is partial,
Jer je njihovo znanje rascijepkano.
but they're holding on to that partial knowledge about Jesus,
I oni se čvrsto drže toga što znaju o njemu.
and then they get confused about what he's talking about.
I onda im nije jasno što on priča.
And Jesus says something, this is also telling to the kind of the heart of the people. He says, you will search for me and you will not find me.
I ovo je fascinantno kako govori njima, ajmo reći, u dušu. Tražit ćete me i nećete me moći naći.
And then he says, and you can't come where I'm going.
I onda kaže, ne možete otići tamo gdje ja idem.
And it's a phrase that's in direct contrast to what in the other gospel reports, if you seek, you will find.
I to je u direktnom kontrastu što čitamo u drugom evanđelju. Ako me tražite, naći ćete me.
If you knock, the door will be open.
Znači, tko kuca, otvorit će mu se.
But Jesus now is saying, if you seek, you will not find.
Ali sada govori,
Yeah, but that's different seeking though. That's seeking physical Christ location. If it's seeking the spiritual Christ, that's different.
možda je razlika u tome da će tražiti fizičku lokaciju ili duhovnu lokaciju.
Yeah, and that's the point, right?
I u tome je poanta.
Like you think you know about me, and so you're not really seeking who I really am.
Mislite da znate nešto o meni i onda u stvari ne tražite ono tko sam ja u stvari.
So they stay on the physical, literal plane of where he might be going. It must be somewhere physical.
I ostaju na toj doslovnoj razini.
And this has been the problem all the way through John, right?
I to je bio problem u cijelom Ivanovom
He tells
evanđelju.
Nicodemus, you must be born again.
Kaže Nikodemu, moraš se ponovo roditi.
And so all Nicodemus can think about is, how do you go up into your mom again? That makes no sense. It's literal.
I Nikodemu nije jasno kako se mogu doslovno opet roditi.
And then to the woman at the well, I'll give you everlasting water.
I ovoj ženi Samarijanki na bunaru daću ti žive vode.
And she's thinking indoor plumbing.
I ona misli
That would be awesome.
kakva je to živa voda.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Da.
And then he says, I am the bread of life.
I onda kaže, ja sam kruh života,
You have to eat me.
morate me pojesti.
And they're all upset because they can't get out of their minds physical eating.
I svi su, opet im nije jasno kako može
Only see the physical Jesus.
i tu vide samo tog fizičkog Isusa.
And so they can't seek him because their hearts are blocked off to him because of their limited knowledge.
Ne mogu ga tražiti zato što je tako okamenjena i nemaju to znanje o njemu.
In America, knowledge prevents them from knowing.
I u Americi imamo izraz drži podalje od uz znanja u stvari što je.
And maybe you know this word. It's what we call people who are in their second year of high school or their second year of college.
I tako zovemo ljude koji su u drugoj godini srednje škole ili faksa.
No, it's the first.
Prva godina je početnik.
Anybody know what we call a second year?
A,
Anybody know what we call a second year?
Junior.
Junior's third year. Sophomore. Do you know what that word means?
to znači.
Soft and more.
You know what Sophia means
Jako
in Greek?
mekano.
What?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. And what does more mean?
C.
Moron. It's a fool. So a sophomore is a wise fool.
Znači mudra budala.
If anybody in here is a sophomore, I apologize. If you're second year, you know just enough to think you know, which prevents you from knowing.
That's every Dalmatian,
That's-
no matter the year.
Okay, coming from a Dalmatian. These people that they're wise fools, they know enough to not look for any more. They're not going to seek because they think they know.
Znači to je njihov problem. Da bi znali još više.
But that's a good place for a pause. Let's take a 10-minute pause. So at 7:35 we'll come back and finish the chapter.
How would they pronounce Jesus in Greek?
u tom njihovom doživljaju.
And it's quite long, but we'll just read this one verse.
I dosta je dugačak, ali pročitat ćemo samo 20. Dao si mi svoga duha dobrog, da ih naučiš mudrosti. Mane svoje nisi uskratio njihovim ustima i u žeđi si im vode pružio.
So it's bringing together the idea of God's physical provision of bread from heaven and water from the rock.
I stavlja im u glavu tu ideju znači kruha s neba i vode iz kamena.
And connecting it to the provision here of the Holy Spirit.
I to sklapa zajedno sa time što Duh Sveti donosi.
And so at the time of Jesus, when this feast was celebrated,
I u to vrijeme, u Isusovo vrijeme kad se slavio taj blagdan,
they have this background idea of this revival in Nehemiah that happened at the feast.
u pozadini su imali to na pameti, tu ideju o tom probuđenju u Nehemiji, iz Nehemije.
And in their minds, bread is equal to the word and water is equal to the spirit.
I u njihovim glavama kruh je jednak riječi, a water, right?
Is equal, to the spirit.
A voda je jednaka duhu.
And there's going to be one day there's going to be a great the glory of our King is going to be with us, so we don't need any light. He is our light.
I jednog dana će slava našeg kralja biti tu sa nama i on će biti naše svjetlo.
So the next two slides are from the Mishnah.
I sljedeće dva slajda su iz Mišne.
This is the official Jewish commentary on the Torah.
I to je službeni zapisi Židova o Tori, znači proučavanje
And
njihovo.
there are four elements that are supposed to be at the Feast of Booths.
I trebali bi prisustvovati tu 4 elementa na tom blagdanu.
The first are the booths, which we've already talked
I
about.
znači prvo su te sjenice o kojima smo već pričali.
Sleeping outside, lots of fun for the kids.
Spavanje vani i jako zabavno za djecu.
And then they describe the celebration. It's point number 2.
I onda opisuje tu proslavu, to je drugi dio.
Melchior, read that.
Proslava je sadržavala psalme, flaute, trube, žrtve, ples i procesije. Ljudi u procesijama su držali agrume u ljevoj ruci, a u ljevoj palminu ok, ajmo reći da je u desnoj palminu granu omotanu grančicama. Ovi predmeti su hvalili Božju providnost.
I think the fruit is in the left hand, and there's some twigs wrapped together that are in the right hand.
Znači, both in one hand?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be two different hands.
U ljevoj ruci bi trebao biti taj agrum naranđi ili ne znam šta, a u desnoj ta palmina grana.
Yeah, I've got it. In my English, it's the twigs in the right hand and the fruit in the left hand. Yeah, and these represent just God's provision. The twigs are kind of supposed to represent fruit. So, God provides.
I voće to predstavlja voće.
The twigs.
A grančice su kao ono, znate, kruh pa žitarice i to.
Super, yeah. The next thing was water was very important symbolically.
Voda je isto bila simbolički vrlo bitna.
So they would go down to the pool of Siloam.
Spustili bi se na taj, kako se zove, bazen zvan Shalom.
Yeah, and every morning the high priest would take a golden pitcher and dip it into the water.
I svako jutro bi veliki svećenik uzeo zlatni ono kad lijemo vodu iz toga, kako se to zove? Vrč,
yeah.
Zlatni vrč i...
And then they kind of march up to the temple, and when they enter the temple, trumpets play.
I onda bi se prošetali do hrama i kad bi ušli u hram, svirale bi trube.
And then they would sing Psalm 113 through Psalm 118.
I pjevali bi psalam 113 do 118.
Yeah, 18.
118.
And then in the last psalm, then they would hold up their fruit and their twigs and give thanks to God.
I kad bi pjevali taj zadnji psalam dignuli bi te agrume i te grančice.
And the water is just remembering through the desert that God provided water for them.
I voda je simbolički, znači da bi se sjetili kako im je u pustinji Bog opskrbio ih je vodom.
But symbolically, the water is the prophecy from Joel that God will pour out his spirit on the people. So the water symbolizes the spirit of God.
Ali isto tako, voda predstavlja iz Joela, proroka Joela, da je ta voda koja se razljeva duh Božji.
And then they pour the water out as an offering to God into a bowl. They pour out the water.
I onda izliju iz vrča u neku zdjelicu kao
An offering.
Prinos Bogu.
Yeah, and then the last main thing they had to have was light.
I zadnja stvar što im je bilo potrebno je svjetlo.
And that comes from Zechariah saying it's, there'll be no day or night, it'll all be light.
I to vidimo u Zahariji, kaže da neće biti dan noć, nego će biti svjetlo.
So here you can read that part in number 4.
4 ogromna svječnjaka stavljaju se u dvorište za žene na večer prvog dana blagdana. Kad bi se svijeće u svječnjacima upalile, rabini bi rekli, nema mjesta u Jeruzalemu koje ne ogleda ovo svjetlo. Leviti su pratili paljenje svijeća plesom s bakljama i glazbom.
Yeah, so it's a fun time. There's a lot going on.
Svašta se događa.
But you get this image every morning they're going and getting this water and they're drawing it and they're taking it to the altar in the temple. And they're remembering the God provision of physical water, but also of his spirit.
I znači svako jutro grabe tu vodu i svaki put se prisjećaju ne samo fizičkog aspekta, znači kako im je Bog u pustinji pružio vodu, nego i tog duhovnog, kako će se Božji duh izliti nad njima.
And that's the context for this.
I to je kontekst za ovdje.
So read out the teaching of Jesus in verse 37 to 39.
37 do 39. U posljednji veliki dan blagdana Isus stade i povika. Ako je tko žedan, neka dođe k meni, neka pije. Tko vjeruje u mene, kao što reče pismo, rijeka će žive vode poteći iz njegove utrobe. To reče o duhu kojega su imali primiti oni što vjeruju u njega. Tada doista ne bijaše još došao duh, jer Isus nije bio proslavljen.
Yeah, so whoever's you don't need to go and be drawing out the water. Whoever's thirsty, come to me.
I ne mora nitko vaditi tu vodu, nego tko god je žedan neka dođe k meni.
And I'll make a river flow out of you.
I ja ću načiniti jednu rijeku koja će teći iz vas.
So if it was bold for Jesus to say, you guys don't understand Moses.
I to je bilo vrlo hrabro od Isusa da kaže, vi ne razumijete Mojsija.
He just stood up on the last and great day of the feast.
Upravo je, znači, ustao se i govorio im na zadnji dan te velike gozbe.
What he's saying is
I što je rekao, u stvari rekao im je da sve što oni čine je ispunjeno u meni.
And it would have been that in the middle of the temple.
Bilo bi baš zanimljivo biti tamo i vidjeti kad to Isus kaže.
Except there's the sad part.
Ali ovaj tužani dio je postoji.
Which is how few people responded.
To je kako par ljudi reagira na to.
You go back into the example from Nehemiah chapter 8 and it's like the whole nation begins to weep at the reading of the law of God. Like there's this powerful moment where everybody's moved.
I na početku Nehemije ima taj dio kada se čita iz Božje riječi i svi plaču, svi su ispunjeni.
And that passage gets read at it would have been read at this feast. It gets read at every feast of booths every year.
I taj redak bi se ponovo čitao tada i taj svaki put na blagdan sjednica.
Okay, let's just read to the end of the chapter. Now this is because it's very similar to what we've already read, but it's debate and then the leaders respond.
I sad ta prepirka i onda šta te vođe, kako oni reagiraju. All of it? Ok. Kad su neki iz naroda čuli te riječi, govorahu: ovo je uistinu prorok. Drugi govorahu: ovo je Krist. A bilo ih je i koji su pitali: pa zar Krist dolazi iz Galileje? Ne kaže li David? Tako je u narodu nastala podvojnost zbog njega, neki ga čak htjedoše uhvatiti, ali nitko ne stavi na nje ruke. Dođoše dakle stražari, glavari svećeničkim farizejima, a ovi im rekoše: zašto ga ne dovedoste? Stražari odgovore: nikad nitko nije ovako govorio. Na to će im farizeji: zar ste se i vi dali zavesti? Je li itko od glavara ili farizeja povjerovao u njega? Ali ta svjetina koja ne pozna zakona, to je prokleto, kaže im Nikodem. Onaj koji onaj koji ne sasluša i... Jesam, da. Ono prije dođe k Isusu, a biješe jedan od njih. Zar naš zakon sudi čovjeku ako ga prije ne sasluša i ne dozna što čini? Odgovoriše mu: da, nisi ti iz Galileje, istraži pa ćeš vidjeti da iz Galileje ne ustaje prorok.
Yeah, so there are some who respond. Some say, this is the prophet, this is the Christ. So some are moved, some are thinking, he's it.
I znači dio ljudi stvarno misli, to je Mesija.
But a lot are still confused, and this is the point where we say, hey, we know where the Messiah is from. He's from Bethlehem.
I sada oni govore: pa mi znamo odakle je Mesija, on je iz Betlehema.
There's the strange part about something happens when Jesus speaks. The soldiers, the officers that came to arrest him aren't able to arrest him.
I zanimljivo je kada Isus govori, znači dolaze ti stražari, ali ga ne uhite.
So they're influenced. They're like, well, we couldn't arrest him because nobody ever spoke like that before. There's something about this guy.
I oni si misle, nitko tako prije nije govorio, nešto ima, nešto se događa s tim čovjekom.
And the leaders are really mad at him.
A vođe su jako ljuti na njega.
And then Nicodemus speaks up.
I Nikodem onda govori isto nešto.
Which I feel like saying hi to Nicodemus. It's nice to see him again.
I zanimljivo je da opet vidimo Nikodema.
We've missed him since chapter 3.
Od 3. poglavlja ga nismo vidjeli.
And he's not really arguing for Jesus. He's just pointing out, I mean, he is, but he's just saying a point of procedure. Like, aren't we supposed to question the person first?
I nije baš da je on na strani Isusa, ali on ipak kaže, zar ne bi prvo trebali ispitati čovjeka da vidimo tko je on u stvari.
And it gets emotional again.
I onda opet postaje emocionalno.
So just like when Jesus taught the crowd and they got upset at him and they said, you got a demon.
I isto kao kad je Isus govorio mnoštvu, i onda su se oni naljutili pa su rekli da ima demona u sebi.
Nicodemus makes a good point.
Nikodem ima dobar zaključak ima.
But they don't respond with a counterpoint.
Ali oni onda nemaju taj kontraargument.
It sounds more like junior high school.
Nego to više izgleda kao neka prepreka u srednjoj školi.
They try to shame him. Like, yeah, you're one of his, aren't you? You're from Galilee, aren't you?
Oni ga pokušavaju osramotiti, kažu, ti si iz Galileje, ti si jedan od njih.
Which shows the emotion that was involved. They don't want to have any rational conversation about Jesus. They just want to shut him down.
I to pokazuje koliko je bio emocionalan taj razgovor i ne žele s njime imati nikakav racionalan razgovor, nego ga samo žele ušutkati.
But you can imagine being in school and somebody saying somebody making a joke or cussing using the name of Jesus.
Ali možete zamisliti da neko psuje Isusovo ime u školi?
And you could imagine saying something about that, like, hey guys, come on, don't do that.
I možete zamisliti kako govorite Dobro, ljudi, nemojte to raditi.
Don't use his name like that.
Nemojte psovat Isusovo ime.
And then they try to shame you. Like, well, what are you? Who do you think you are? You're some weird person. Shame.
I onda te žele omalovažavati, ono, joj, kaj, ko si ti, šta će ti nama govoriti?
Yeah. And then they say something that's actually not true. Like no prophet ever came from Galilee.
I onda, true or not?
It's not true.
Aha, i onda govore
Yeah.
nešto što nije istina,
Because
da,
Jonah's from Galilee. Yeah. And Nahum was from Galilee.
da nijedan prorok nije iz Galileje, a Jona i Nahum su iz Galileje.
And so they might mean the prophet's not from Galilee, like the one who's supposed to be like Moses.
Ali oni možda misle kao prorok, kao Mojsije, nije nijedan bio iz Galileje.
But that again shows their bias. Because we don't know that from the Bible. We don't know where the prophet's supposed to come from. It's just supposed to be Jewish.
Ali i to isto nemamo u Bibliji, nego samo prorok bi trebao biti Židov.
But you see there, what do they call the crowd? Where is that? What did they say about the people?
49.
Yeah, how do you translate that Croatian? What does that say? What do they say about the people?
Where?
Is that?
Cursed, yeah.
Yes, that's pretty negative, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their view of. They're the ones who know. They're the priests.
Znači njihov pogled na svijet je, oni znaju, oni su ti svećenici, oni bi trebali znati.
So we started this passage with people are surprised that Jesus has such wisdom because he's not one of these guys. He's not educated.
I ljudi su, začudilo ih je kako Isus toliko toga zna, a nije dio tih velikih svećenika.
How can he know the Bible if he's not from us? We're the ones who teach people what the Bible says.
Kako on može znati šta piše u Bibliji ako nije jedan od nas? Jel smo mi ti koji znamo sve o Bibliji?
And so the debate among the people doesn't matter because the people don't know what they're talking about. They're just uneducated masses of people. They have no idea about spiritual truth. They're cursed. They're dumb.
Jer ti obični ljudi su prokleti, ajmo reći, ne znaju ništa o Bibliji, ne mogu sami ništa shvatiti bez ovih poglavara što im govore šta bi trebali.
But then they show their own, in their own arrogance, they show their own lack of knowledge when they say no prophets from Galilee. It shows their bias.
I pokazuju tu arogantnost i privrženost toj jednoj njihovoj tezi, kao pokušavaju se malo zbahatiti, kao nijedan prorok nije iz Galileje, kao mi to znamo.
They don't deny Jesus being the Christ because I don't even think they want to talk about Jesus being the Christ. They just ignore that whole thing.
Oni ne osporavaju to da je Isus Krist, nego ne žele o tom pričati, nego...
Yeah, they're just talking about him being the prophet at the end.
Aha, znači samo hoće pričati o tome da li je on prorok ili ne.
But if they did what Nicodemus said,
ali ako je učinio ono što je Nikodem rekao,
they could clear up the whole question about not being from Bethlehem but being from Galilee. Right? Because we know the answer to that.
Kad bi shvatili, ispitali ga i vidjeli bi da je iz Betlehema, a ne iz Galileje.
So how could the Messiah be both from Galilee and Bethlehem?
Kako može biti Mesija iz Betlehema i iz Galileje?
How could that be? Anybody got a solution?
He can. Because he's from Bethlehem and from God. He just lives in God.
Yeah, but we say he's from there. So what does that mean?
To them, that means he was born there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple solution. He was born in Bethlehem. He's from Galilee. He's from Bethlehem and he's from Galilee. It's really not that hard.
Znači, vrlo jednostavno. Rodio se u Betlehemu, živi u Galileji.
But nobody asks. That's kind of the point.
Nitko ga to ne pita od kud je on zapravo.
They know what they know about Jesus and they're not seeking Jesus through Jesus.
Znaju što znaju o njemu i ne traže ga kroz njega.
And that's the problem in modern society. all they want to, but they don't really want to go Jesus.
I to je isto problem u današnjem društvu. Debatirali bi tko je on i svašta nešto, ali ne bi otišli, kako se to zove, u izvor.
They know enough not to want to know anymore. It's like, I'm satisfied with what I know about Jesus.
Znaju dovoljno da ih u stvari ne zanima više. Misle, to nam je dovoljno.
And then tragically what Jesus said becomes true.
I onda tragično je to što Isus govori postaje istina.
You'll never find me.
Nikad me nećete naći.
And if you don't find me, you can't go where I'm going.
Ako me ne pronađete, nećete moći ići tamo gdje ja idem.
They didn't get that when he said it, but he's telling them you can't go to heaven because you can't come where I'm going because you don't want to know who I am.
Ne možete doći tamo gdje ja idem, jer ne znate kamo ja idem i ne znate od kud sam ja.
I said too much at once, didn't I?
Aha.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't go to heaven
Ne možete ići u nebo
to be with the Father
da budete s Ocem,
because that's where I'm going.
zato što ja tamo idem,
And you can't get there
i ne možete tamo doći
if you don't know me.
ako mene ne poznate.
But because you think you know me,
Ali s obzirom na to da vi mislite da me poznate,
you're never going to truly know me.
nikad me u stvari nećete poznati.
And you'll never get to where I'm going.
I nećete shvatiti gdje ja idem.
It's the irony of through this passage, we have people claiming to know all kinds of things about Jesus.
I kroz taj odjeljak vidimo te stvari koje ljudi misle da oni znaju o Isusu.
But they know without knowing.
Ali oni znaju bez da znaju. Znaju, a ne
I
znaju.
had a couple of questions for y'all to discuss in small groups, but it's already past 8 o'clock, so we'll end it there.
Trebali smo imati par pitanja za malu grupu, ali već je kasno pa ćemo završiti ovdje.
Yeah. This was good. A lot of background to the feasts. Yeah, now you know.